So this is the time the PSP almost got me expelled. So I just bought this PSP today. It just gave me a lot of memories. I remember my uncle gave me this PSP. I was in 7th grade. I graduated in 2010, so 09, 08 was around the time when I got my PSP, maybe 07. Now, previously, before I almost got expelled from my, kicked out of my school, I got into this weird phase where I was just always like, I was a girls guy, man. Like I really liked girls at a young age while everybody was playing toys and watching sports and, keeping their life productive. My life was always around girls. So, I previously got in trouble for slapping this girl butt in art class, because I went to a Catholic school, and the same day we had art was the time we could have, sweatpants for gym and stuff. So I got in trouble for slapping the girl ass about it, and I don't know, I was just going through this little phase when I was, you in 7th grade, what's that, like, you're like 13, 14. Yeah, so anyway, this is the time where I almost got kicked out for my PSP. So boom, I had this teacher named Mr. Hawthorne. He was a little comical, dramatic teacher. And I remember I had my PSP, and I will always keep it on me. I will always, sneak under my desk and play games like Need for Speed, etc. But most importantly, during my own time, I would watch porn on my PSP. My uncle, he showed me how to hook the USB in, how to hook it up to your computer, laptop, whatever, and pretty much just drag the files to the PSP folder. And that's how I got all my pornos on there. And all these pictures, I had pussy pictures and all that stuff, booty pictures. I wasn't really a titty guy. I was always an ass type of guy, so I always had the ass on here. It was like a OnlyFans way before OnlyFans. So one time, you know how kids are. They go through your shit. So one of my friends, Jacob, at the time, he went through my phone and he seen some pornos. No, it started off as Buffy the Body. If you a real one, you know about Buffy the Body. Around 07, 06, 08, Buffy the Body was the thing. And look how times has changed, man. These kids are like, who? Buffy the who? Buffy the Body, she was the original girl, like way before all these supermodels and Instagram models started being the thing. Anyway, so let's fast forward. Jacob seen the it started off as like booty, girls getting oiled down and stuff, and then it came to Reality Kings and Bang Bros and Porn Pros, a whole bunch of ebony porn. I ain't really have white porn, no offense. I would have all these things, man, and these kids, they just went through my PSP, and by the time I got it, it was already dead, so I didn't know what they was looking at or anything. It was on the school bus, and then, came from the school bus, then to the class, and the word got around that, yo, Marquise got porno on his PSP, and I didn't really pay no mind to it because I'm just like, yeah, that's my thing, I wasn't ashamed of it at all. I was actually kind of prideful for it. So fast forward, one day, I guess a little kid seen my pornos. That part I do not know about, because in the front of the bus was where the little kids were, in the back was where the older kids were. And I don't understand how a little kid seen it, but a little kid must have told his parent or whatever. And I remember this girl that didn't like me at all. She kept calling me a pervert, and she called me disgusting, crazy stuff. Her name was Taylor Bacon. I never will forget it, man. Taylor Bacon and her friend Amira, they always team together to try to get me down, trying to make me feel bad about myself for having, a little bit of pleasure. So Taylor Bacon was the student council. Yes, they were both black though. You know, it's not like they're white girls. They were black. They was teaming up to get me. So basically, I guess she made up a lie and said that one of the kids seen the pornos, and since she was student council, she wanted to have like a good, a reputation. And I guess she told the principal or whoever, and whoever told my homeroom teacher, Mr. Hawthorne. And I remember Mr. Hawthorne, he was like, he just came back from lunch or whatever, recess. He came back into the homeroom and he was like, Marquise, we're going to talk about the situation on the bus. And I'm like, well, okay, let's go. So he made me go into this dark ass room in school, and he made me call my grandmother up. He was like, yo, call home. I just can't believe you did something like this. Okay, so I called my grandmother. I'm like, hey, grandma, I'm in trouble. And then he grabs the phone. He's like, hello, Mrs. Williams. Your grandson was having pornography on a bus. Now, this is the crazy part. This is the part I didn't even know about. The day before this happened, the day before this happened, I was in my bed and I watched a porno, and I guess I was so tired that I didn't even get a chance to like finish watching it, and I fell asleep. And I never closed my door. I still don't. And I guess my grandmother seen it, and she took my PSP. And that morning when I got in trouble for it, I was looking for my PSP everywhere. And it's one of those things, like, I don't want to ask my grandma where it is, because I have a feeling she's going to be like, oh yeah, I have it. And what was those things you was watching? So I kind of like kept quiet. For some reason, I knew she had it though, because I looked under my bed, I looked under my pillow, my blanket, my sheets, even looked everywhere where I wouldn't even put a PSP. And yeah, so my grandmother had it. I was looking for it. It was a very dreary day, man. It was very gloomy. It was very dark outside. It was just not a good day at all. So after my homeroom teacher told me that, he made me go back into class until my grandmother picked me up. That didn't work. I went back into the homeroom and all the kids is laughing at me. They like, oh, Marquise is in trouble now. Marquise is in trouble. Yo, his grandmother's crazy. So Mr. Hawthorne, since he's a little dramatic ass bitch, he came into the homeroom and he's like, hey, Marquise, get out of classroom. I don't even want you in this classroom, you sicko. And remind you, this guy wasn't even married. He didn't have no kids or nothing. He's in his like early 50s. So I know you watch porn. I know you watch porn. The hypocritic bastard. Like, you know what I'm saying? You are a teacher. You're not that good looking, honestly. You know what I'm saying? You're a homeroom teacher, 50 years old, teaching about fucking science. You not getting no pussy, man. You are not getting no pussy. Like, I'm sorry. I just had to say that. You definitely watch porn. If anything, you might watch gay porn. And I'm not saying nothing bad about that. Shout out to anybody that watches that stuff. I'm not dissing you. But come on now. You probably watch animal porn, you little weird ass. So anyway, my fault. I just had to say that. Cool. So he was like, get out of this room, you sicko. I don't even want you here. So they made me go into, okay, this is pretty crazy, because every situation I go through, I pretty much always get away with it. So I was supposed to be expelled because of this stuff, bringing pornos into school, in a Catholic school. Come on now. So the principal wasn't there. The principal was not there. Principal Francine, but we called her Frances, I think. Principal Frances, she was a sister. So Sister Francine, she wasn't there for that whole week. And it was about to be the weekend. And yeah, I pretty much just, they couldn't, okay, so since they didn't expel me, they had to send me to a therapy. Yes, I'm like 12, 13 years old going to therapy, all because I had a PSP with pornos and I brought it to school. It's crazy. And the therapy, shout out to all the therapists, because that's not an easy job at all. But my therapist was she was pretty nice. Like she looked really good. Like every time I came there just to see her. I didn't really care about getting help. And I feel like that didn't really help. That just made my sexual fantasies even realistic, if you ask me. But no, she was terrific though. Shout out to her, man. Hit me up. Um, so anyway, I'm waiting in a hallway, and it wasn't even a hallway. It was like further down into the school where no classrooms are. So my grandmother finally shows up. This is the part that, it's going to have y'all cracking up, right? So as soon as my grandmother see me, she just start punching on me. Boom, 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 boom. I told you not to have that shit. Boom, 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 boom. You shouldn't have that shit there. Man, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. And Mr. Hawthorne, his dumb ass, I guess some white people don't beat their children. I don't know how true that is, but I'm guessing from how he reacted, he'd never seen no shit like that. He never seen nobody discipline their son. And I agree with my grandmother. She should have whipped my ass because I brought pornos to school. You don't do shit like that. But he was so dramatic. He was like, "Oh, Mrs. Williams, I might call DHS on you." Da, 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 da. Is that what it's called, DHS? I don't have kids. I don't know. Yeah, he was gonna call, like the law on my grandmother for beating me. And yeah. And then after that, my grandfather just looked at me and he was just like, "You know what time it is?" And I'm like, 2:45. Everybody's about to go home, like people waiting for the bus outside. So yeah. And then I got home, and my uncle, what made this whole situation worse was my uncle bought me this PSP. And he was like, "Man, if I knew you was going to do that, I would have never bought you it." And that hurt my heart, man. I mean, that was worse than the ass whooping, man. Because I was just like, man, like, I loved my uncle, man. When he gave me this PSP, it just brought so many memories. I had to make this video to you guys. Yeah, that was crazy. After that, I went home. And remember I said, we had sweatpants for gym day. That day I did have gym clothes on. So my grandmother just pulled my pants down and started whipping me with the wires and stuff. Like my ass was stinging like hell, man. She just started whipping me, and then she took my PSP, right? She put it on the table. She was like, "You see this? You see this right here?" And then she took a hammer, boom, 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 boom. She's like, "Let this be the last fucking time you do some shit like this in school. I'll give you what you want." And yeah, I never will forget that, man. It was a long weekend. Oh my goodness, man. I tried to sleep it off, and then next thing you know, she's like, "You're not going to be in the room sleeping all day. I'm going to make you do some work." I hope you guys love this video, man. I try to give you more story time. I try to give you a little bit of everything. But yeah, if you're watching this, be productive, sports. Don't make your whole life about women, man, because, obviously we all love women. We all think they're so pretty and we want to do things with them, and sexual desires is real. I know what it is, man. But have some self-control, be productive, keep yourself busy, and yeah, just get money, man. I'm gonna take this PSP, and I'm gonna watch videos. Later.